Hey everybody. So today we got the Olympics coming up, and I'm going to show you a variation of the Solomon. I'm not really going to give this a name, I'm just going to call it the Olympic inspired bracelet. So what I've got here is I've got about 5 feet of the red and 5 feet of the royal blue. I have connected them together right here by melting both ends and then fusing them together and rolling them in my finger. I also have flattened the ends with my paracording pliers. You just heat up the ends and then use the pliers to flatten the ends, just like that. So what I want to do is I want to go down through the top of the buckle, and what I'm using on this is a 1/2 inch buckle, just like that one there. So go down through the top. You'll have your short ends here, your long ends. So open up the long ones, reach through, and pull up through that. And then pull all your excess through there. There's always going to be a little bit of a twist, so you can just work that out. There we go. And that's called the cow's hitch. That's how you attach your paracord to one side of the buckle. And we're just going to run these paracord strands through my fingers so they don't twist. And then from the other side, we're going to go up through the bottom. And this is where the flattened ends really help out, especially with these 1/2 inch buckles, because the opening isn't really that big. Alright, so pull all your slack through, and that should be done without any twisting, just like that. Open up your buckle now. And what you want to do is you're going to have the left side, which will be one color, and a right side, which will be another color. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is this is just the standard cobra weave, real basic. So we're going to start with the left side, and we're going to take that over the top of the 2 middle strands, just like that. Take your right side, go over the blue one, over the left one, go behind the 2 middle ones, and then up through that loop that you created on your first pass. And then go ahead and create a knot here. Now don't tighten it quite yet, because there's going to be a step here before that. So you want to double check your measurement here, but we're also going to incorporate this strand of white that I've got here. And this is just an old piece that I cut off of one of my other bracelets. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere. So I'm going to tie this basically through this red loop. So it might be kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in on this for you, because of the white background it might be kind of hard to see. But basically all I've done is threaded the white through this red loop here. And then just go ahead and tighten that on down. And what this will allow us to do is when we get to the end, it should be tight enough to where I can cut this end off and I can melt it all in there. But for now, we're just going to leave a little bit of slack there. And you want to make sure that your white piece is going to be long enough to go the length of the bracelet too. So get that nice and tight. And what we're going to do is every 2 passes, we're going to go over 2 and then under 2. And what I mean by that is, now that you've got your blue over top, we're going to do that again. We're going to go blue over the 2 center strands. So we'll get this out of the way just for now. Oops, let me zoom back out here for you. Okay, so we're doing blue over the top of the 2 middles, so that's going to be the same all the way down. So blue over the top, left over the right, behind the back, and through. And then go ahead and tighten that on up. Alright, so now this time the white is going to be on top. Or actually, you're going to take the white over top of these 2 blue. And this time, the white's going to be underneath of the blue. So now you're incorporating the white right down into the middle. Okay, so take take the left over the center, right over the right, I'm sorry, right over the left, behind the back, and through. And tighten this up. And what you want to do every time you tighten one, push up. Hold the center strands and then push up. Alright, so that was our first one. So I want to do one more over the top of the white. So go right over the center ones, left over right, left behind the back and through the loop. Pull that tight. Alright, so now we get our white one back out of the way again. So you're going to just pull that up toward the top. Blue over the middle. Right over the left, behind the back, through. And pull this tight. And keep this white one out of the way for 2 passes. You could do every other one, but I like the way that the 2 looks. Go right over the center. Left over right. Go around the center, around the back, and through the loop. And pull it tight. Now pull your white back over. And you can see every 2 passes you're going to just go underneath, over, underneath, and over. I'll do 2 more passes here real quick. So basically you're going to have kind of a stitched look to this a little bit. But every 2 passes make sure you get that white one out of the way. So now I would flip this up because it's been 2. So we went over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2. And you're just going to do that all the way down. And then once we get down to the end, I'll show you how to incorporate this into the end so that we can finish up the bracelet. And I will be back. Down to the bottom. See, I feel like I say that every time. I probably do. Okay, so as you can see, this is where we started. This is where we're at now. Left a little bit here on the end. Can't hardly see it. I hope you can see the white with my white background. Here, let's do this. I got a piece of, sometimes I use this as a background. Okay, so basically what I've done here is I've went under 2 here. Excuse me. Went under 2 here. Went over 1 blue one here. And I think I'm going to stop here. That gives me enough tightness to actually snip the end right there with this white one. I guess what else that you could do is take the white down through the middle. If you have enough room, you could open up, you could separate the middle strands, go down through the middle right there, and you know, meld it on the back side. That would be a good option too. But I think I'm just going to do it on this side because you're not going to see the bottom part of the bracelet when it's on your wrist anyway. So I'm going to do one more because I have room for one more weave, and then we can start snipping these ends and get this bracelet all finished up. Hopefully we're in the right zoom setting there. Okay. Alright, so now we can cut these ends off. I'm going to start with this white one at this end. Snip that. Now you're going to have to be really careful not to melt your buckle too. So you're going to want to bend that out of the way just a little bit, just enough to where you're not going to melt your buckle. I suggest using the low part of the flame. And you're really just trying to liquefy this end, and then also liquefy kind of the surrounding pieces too, the blue and the red, so that when you press this in there, kind of melts right in there with the red also. There we go. Alright, that should be nice, that should be good. Alright, now one thing you need to do is you want to pull this white nice and tight before you snip the end. Cut that end. Ooh, that's not good. Got a dull part of my scissors there. Alright. It's already trying to pull through there. So I need to hurry up and get this melted in there. You want to be really, really careful when you get to this point because you don't want that white pulling through. And if you tie your bracelets like I do, I tie them really tight so that they look nice and uniform the whole way. Then once that white slips through there, you might not be able to get it back in there. Alright, there we go. You might want to maybe experiment with how you want to end that white strand. That's probably not the best way to do it. I would say taking it through, separating these strands right here, the two center strands, before you do your last one, going down through, cutting it on the back side and melting it on the back side. That's probably a better option for you. Get this guy real quick. Sorry, this is the most boring part of my videos, I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that. It's just that paracord takes a minute to solidify, or not solidify, liquefy. Alright, got one more here. Alright. There we go. And we can call this a finished bracelet. This is what I call, I don't know, you can call this the Olympic bracelet. I like that it has a V pattern with the blue here because it, I don't know, V, victory. That's what we always hope for in the Olympics. Made this one a little smaller, but you can make it any length you want. Hope you like it. Very patriotic. Might call it the patriotic Olympic bracelet or something like that, but that's the finished bracelet. If you do come up with a different way of ending this this white strand, please let me know. I'm kind of curious on what you come up with for that. But again, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Talk to you later.